whales in the crypto market are successfully playing the entire retail. They're trying to shake as much people as possible to the upside before the market actually moves higher. Yes, the dollar is showing you a direction, and that kind of gives you much more idea which direction crypto is headed with all these positive news and narratives coming in and the price action showing you the real direction. See, does this really look like we are going down, or it seems like we are following the history? We kind of did this before and you reached back up, and you know what happened. Right now the price action is showing you something similar to that starting here. This goes back to a lot of different assets right now. You can actually observe like the Rune is running higher, Polymath is running higher. We had our calls on all those, and right now we are watching the market is playing in that direction. Even ETH, if you focus, is trying to break higher. Now it has not yet managed to do that, but it is still trying. If you actually look at the daily candle close, things are getting really interesting, especially when you look at Bitcoin. Right now, yes, you have a red candle, but if you look at the previous candle here, the candle close, we're still inside that territory. We haven't actually broken back down. Now, the important point to understand is this previous resistance, which you broke to the upside, it can be a retest and a bounce. When you look at this on a line chart, this is exactly what you see here. It doesn't actually look like a bearish thing. This is your resistance. If you remember, we trend higher like this. We want to make sure you remain above this when you come back and bounce. And if you bounce from here, that is something happening on a short term. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10 person of this world. Right now, you're watching a lot of opportunities evolving in front of us, some of them starting to burst. And all these opportunities are in front of us. We just have to understand which of them may do really well in next 10 days, next 20 days, next 1 month, and understand their medium-term structure. If the macro is bullish, it is showing you it's bouncing from this range, it broke from a range. It's all good once you understand that as a macro path. So here, we do that. And if you want to follow all those calls, when I buy, when I sell, all those are being listed here. And you can get them in the Patreon. The link is given in the description below if you're watching this in YouTube. If it's in Twitter, it's in the bio. Now, let's actually jump into the market directly and see what the market is showing us. First thing to do is easily try and plot your resistance. This is going to be an easy thing to do. Now, you broke through that to the upside when a lot of different people were giving you a lot of negative issues. But what does this actually really mean? See, if you actually look at on a daily, yes, you will have to agree on a point saying, okay, we are doing this here at a time when the RSI is suggesting you divergence. Yeah, we have seen that in the past. And we saw how that played out in the past. Great. But what we do have to keep in mind is that, okay, right now you're in a bullish trend. There is no doubt in that. If someone is giving you a doubt, you should doubt them. Say, it's hard to look at the candlesticks and say something, but remove the candlestick and go to a line chart. It's much easier that way. You can actually see that this is trending higher. It did its three-wave structure. It went into a consolidative pattern. And what's happening here? The first one is done. It's going through that second phase. You may have some consolidation in between before you take your next leg to the upside. Now, I'm not sure because whether it's going to do here and bounce up or it's going to continue higher and consolidate near 40, 42K. No one actually knows. But what we do know right now is that the MACD has crossed to the upside. The volume is to the upside. RSI is in the territory of overbought region. Historically, when we enter there, you know what follows. Yes, whales do manipulate people. There's a weekly candle and a couple of weeks like this can generate doubts, and people do a lot of crazy things when they are in doubt and the emotions are so high. You don't want to repeat that. If you want to buy an asset, you're watching the trend line. You want to see, okay, where are these whales entering? If you see, okay, the strength may reduce back to this level of around 60. 60 is not neutral, it's bullish. You can buy an asset at that range. Say you go look at Ether. You're like, okay, we are playing with that resistance. If we do manage to break this to the upside, that is going to be a macro bullish signal. So you look at this on a weekly and you would actually put the argument, okay, we kind of did this, we went up, we consolidated here. What if we break to the upside? This is something similar to what we have seen on Bitcoin on a macro. Now, before we go on to XRP and detail what we can see on XRP, this is something you need to keep in your mind. Say, for example, you watch this, the price comes to the upside, complete the 1, 2, 3 structure, which is key here, and then you go into a consolidation. So that particular rectangle here shows you a continuation pattern. We discussed about this when we were coming back down, saying there is a big possibility it may do the double bottom and go back up. Now, what's next? You want to actually understand, okay, what the market is actually showing you. Now, we'll take a line which would give us more clarity here. Now, this is what we are looking at. If the price is going up, how high can we really go? It's all about looking for what a possible target can be. So if we are coming higher and we do that in few months, we may actually come and touch this 99,000, that range for Bitcoin. But it's a big range, which I would say is a big range. The price action reaching there is a huge thing. Now, you'll have multiple resistance in between. You can use different tools to actually support your decision-making skill. Now, you jump onto XRP. This is where it actually gets a little bit more interesting. Comparing all of the assets now, you look at this. The MACD is showing you something. What is it showing you? It is about to cross back to the upside. And as of now, the volume in MACD has not turned positive. This is positive. Even when we don't have that volume to the upside, we're still moving up. So sellers are strong, but buyers are like bulls, the real big bulls, right? They are holding on strong. So as soon as you see a shift here, which would be something like this range here, you will see a big change in the price action. Say you go back in that time and see what happened. The price action started moving up. That was in a consolidative segment where everyone was in doubt. The market was trending lower. Right now, you have a market which is trending higher. And if you do that first, you have to come back up to close to $1, then break back to the upside. Now, if you combine that MACD with RSI, what do you see? When the RSI break above its moving average, we're actually using a 14 here. So the 14-day moving average, if you break that to the upside, it kind of shows you the trend is changing. Meaning instead of going to the downside, it is changing here. That came up here, which means, okay, we're not going down. That downside part is over. Right now, we are looking for the upside. Great. Now, look at what's the chart showing you right now. It showed you a double bottom possibility. It broke back to the upside on a weekly chart. That's where it gets really interesting. Now, this month has just started. You have a long way in this month. So you are watching this and saying, okay, on a monthly, we are already on a bullish side. So the higher time frame structure supports a burst in weekly. Maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe the week after that. I seriously don't know. But what I do know is that this month, it does look bullish. So if you go back in history, say you can actually take up the XRP market cap and go inside there, asking this question, okay, on a monthly, this kind of gives you a serious validative point. Like when you enter into the bullish territory, you remain there. On a monthly, I'm talking, right? When you enter into a bullish territory, you remain there until you see this coming in. So you have a long way to go. At one point, volume goes nuts, right? Here it was at this point, here it was at this point. Now, we haven't reached that territory yet. So those who are in right now will have a serious issue, which is patience. You need some patience and discipline so that when the price goes up, you are there. Now, what actually happens when the price is popping through the roof? That usually is a consolidative range. Keep this in mind. That usually is a consolidative range. So where do you actually get these big bursts? That's during this phase, not during this phase. This phase, you have a lot of volume. Why? Because people saw the price just popped. They want a piece of this pie. But sorry, you were late to the party. The price slows down, plays that game with them. They slowly move out and then boom, it pops. So those who are coming from this end, they are getting stuck there. They are kind of trapped. That is what you're watching here too. You have that pop and you already reached the final leg at this point here. That was the laggards. They came in and they got trapped. So this monthly kind of clearly guides you about what's coming here. And I seriously believe it's not only the MACD showing you, right? It's a lot more, which is the trend line showing you, which is the RSI showing you. Everything is becoming super bullish. So there is no point of going bearish in this market. Now, you can have your own arguments. Like say, if you think like SI, I think there is something like this which you are missing, let me know. Put that in the comment section below. We are all human beings. We'll make errors. So we want to know if that's a significant point. And if it is, we will consider that. And if there is something like, okay, that's a little bit different, I think it's a bit different, I'll explain that. Now, once you understand, okay, this is what the monthly is showing. We should be bouncing higher. We are trending higher. Great. What do you expect on the weekly? Right now, the weekly is showing it's about to cross back to the upside. The direction is clear. The bigger pop in XRP is not yet here, but we are reaching there. We are knocking on that door. As soon as it opens, it is going to be a little bit of a surprising move for everyone, including me, you, and everyone in the market. For sure, that's how the market actually makes that possible. But we already positioned in. We already understand the fact that this previous support has turned into a resistance and then right now as another support. So here that was a strong support. Then it turned into a resistance. What do you think it's going to happen here? It is already a support. So a bounce from here for me means the price action is about to get interesting. It is about to do a three-wave structure. Say the 1, the 2, the 3 in this short term is going to be something similar or maybe with a higher impulsive form which may come here. Maybe that's going to do a 5x. Maybe that's a 10x move. I really don't know. But as soon as you get the first wave of that, you kind of get the idea, right? You look at this. This is the easy part. You are watching around a 60% move and the next one happens to be 115. So kind of 2 times that. And then the last pop is 250%, double that. So if you put that argument saying like, okay, we are here doing something and the fib kind of shows you that, okay, the first one is about to go here. Maybe that is going to be a big move. If not, it should actually look like something like this. You're going to take some time. You're going to be slow. We want to watch whether that's the case or we want to watch if the price action agrees with everything we observe in the indicators, in the price action, because in the price action, it's super bullish. You're actually literally watching that as trending higher. There is no need to be, stressed out. If you look at this chart, if it's me, I would personally say, okay, guys, take this, put it here. That's it. Be happy. You need patience for sure, but you should be looking at this and smiling. You don't have to worry about it. The dollar itself is slowing down. Now, if we do break this point and come lower, I would say that's a great thing to watch. Now, in short term, this is what dollar is doing. We're still at a trend line support. We want to see that breaking to the downside for sure. But at the same time, go look at gold. It is starting to bounce back up, coming back and retesting that all-time highs. The MACD is crossing back to the upside. Last time it crossed to the upside. You do have a short-term micro move of confusion in the market. But then you continued that wave to the upside. What do you have to understand that? You actually got the 1, the 2, the 3. Right now, where are you? You're just starting the 1. You have a 2 and you have a 3 coming up. So safe haven assets and the demand for that is increasing like nuts. So that means you're watching on the other end commodities like oil, is going down. Even though we have a couple of war happening on the other end, you're watching this on a weekly. Now, if you actually look at this, you can also put the argument like, okay, we just had a retracement, right? We're going back down. This trend line kind of shows you it's been volatile. And if you plot that, you can put the argument saying, okay, we have a long way to the downside. Because if that's true, yeah, macro, this should go up. But micro, it doesn't look good. But for anyone who's ready to use this as a consumer, that's a good news. The inflation should go down, the fuel cost should go down. It's positive on that era. You may get $100, $200 extra every month saved from your cost of living, which possibly most of you are going to bring it into crypto or stocks for that matter. Now, that means you do have something happening here. Now, we want to actually see like the XRP dominant side of this. And to put that argument, I would actually say like, okay, if you think this is moving up, you need to actually look at the history and say where we are and what we have done in the past. What do you think this asset is about to do after forming all these patterns? This is interesting because historically speaking, if you put an average, you would end up somewhere here. Right now, to reach there, it needs to increase 100% in its average dominance in the market. That means XRP is going to take a lot of volume for sure. And your trend line, if you are to plot that, should be something like this. You are already above that trend line, which is super bullish in my opinion. Because once you retest this, that's usually where the price starts to become a little bit naughtier. It will be manipulative for sure. That's why I'm saying naughtier. It'll go up. There will be a lot of micro movements to confuse the market. But if you understand the macro, it doesn't look bearish, to me at least. It doesn't actually look bearish. What you can understand on a short term is that the price action is showing you something like this. That's it. And that's where a lot of people are getting confused, thinking that, okay, this asset is slowing down, it's about to drop, blah, 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 blah. But if it drops, what's your support? Where are you looking to buy this? If it's me, I would look at this and say, okay, this moving average, when the moving average and price meet, I would think that is going to be a good opportunity. Historically, that has been on a macro chart. So that side should be clear. Now, you look at the market and you're like, okay, stock market is up for the week. Crypto is down as of now. So you kind of get something. We were talking about this. Stocks went down, crypto went up. Stocks went up, crypto slowed down or dropped a bit. That gives you a correlation. Use that to understand which direction the market is about to go. This will change your life if you understand that clearly. And that's why I'm saying we have hundreds of people taking benefit of the SI family, around 560 people right now. If you are in the market for next 3 months, 6 months, this is going to be an area of your life where you can take the best decision for your life. There'll be a lot of different assets for you to look at, but we make it easy for you. We break things down in a way it's easy to understand and it aids your decision making. So if you are looking for something like that, this is going to help you. Now, if you received value for your time, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.